Okay, so are we going live? We going live? Going live in five, four, three, two, one. Okay, so I've got the chat open. If anybody comes in, they should be able to chat. It's the first time I'm actually really doing this. I did a test run. I don't know if anyone can hear me or not, but I'm just doing this because I've never really went live before. Uh, so I haven't really gone live. So yeah, Lance Cook is in. I knew you'd be here. Can you hear me okay? This is the first time I'm doing this, so I don't know how this is going to be. Is the video laggy at all? Because it's laggy on my end. It's like very laggy. Hmm. Well, I've never chatted with LC like this before, but hopefully some other people come in here too. Um. Okay, so apparently things are working. So I just wanted to go live because since I've been on YouTube for so long, once you've done a certain amount of videos that you've uploaded, you get uh, access to go live. And I don't know how many videos it took me to do that, but now I can go live. And I'm just trying this out, see what it's like. Maybe I'll try it. But I guess I'll just talk about random things as I do when I have lunch in the park on a couple of occasions. Um, so basically, I've got like a new friend in my life, but it's actually an old friend. We're just becoming better friends. I've uh, I've got a friend of mine named Jacqueline Mellon, who, you know, as I said, I've known her for 3 years. She works at the Revolution Bar, which I absolutely can't stand that place, and she's really the only thing I like about it. And she had a Thanksgiving party on Thanksgiving evening, and basically I went to three Thanksgiving parties. I went to one at my work, which you can see live, well, not live, but on YouTube. That was 2 days before, or 3 days before my last day. There was a Thanksgiving party at Goodwill. Dad, we had food delivered, and I also got Whataburger for him because we didn't know when the food was coming. We were hungry, so my boss at work gave me like 6 Whataburger coupons, so I took advantage of that. And then Jacqueline Mellon was throwing a party at her house with her daughter Wednesday and her roommate Bill. And I've met Wednesday before. Bill said he remembered me, but I couldn't remember him. Anyway, I was the only one to show up at that party, and Jacqueline made all this food. There was a huge turkey, and she had made mashed potatoes, stuffing. The stuffing was pretty unique. She actually made stuffing with sausage in it, and I think some like cranberries or some kind of fruit was in the stuffing. And it was really good. But she made a plate for everybody, and nobody like Jack ate part of a plate, then put the plate down. Bill ate part of the plate. He put the plate down. Uh, Hello, China King. I appreciate that. Uh, you're a good man, Charlie Brown, which is funny because we went to Kroger's today because I had to get gas and she had to go buy a money order. And they had these trees outside. These like some of them were small Christmas trees, some of them were big ones, and she wanted to get a small one because she has these 2 dogs, and she wanted to get a small one up to where uh, the dogs couldn't chew it up because they'll eat the tree. But I told her you should get a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, like one little ornament, like half dead. Be funny. What was I talking about? Okay, we had the Thanksgiving party, and I was the only one that showed up. And I known that she had needed some rides to dialysis because I've seen her post on Facebook. Can somebody give me a ride to dialysis? But she's on dialysis because she had some health problems, and she's been on it as long as I've known her. She's been on it for about 4 years, and we've known each other for about 3, I think. And so I've just been her ride, and I remember last week I was playing. Actually, I have it right here. The Strokes album in the car, and on the way to dialysis, I think it was the song "The End Has No End." Whichever song has that like metronomic electronic drum beat, I could see her getting into the music, just tapping the finger to the drum beat. That was pretty cool. Um, but it feels good to help her out. But I'm starting to get to know her more as a person because before this we were friends, but we were more acquaintances. She was the roommate of David Pate, who I used to play with, and David and I we know each other from a long time ago. He was 14, I was 16. In fact, he's on that recording. He plays bass on FH on recordings from the Tupperware. That's him on the bass. And I think the other two songs, Supercoil and Flower, that was Charles on the bass. And FH was like 95. It might have all been 95, but I know we were, me and Jeff Cooper, who put the CD together. There's more tracks on that CD than just those three. I just picked those random ones just to share it with the world. But those were recordings from 95 to 98. So I'm guessing there might have been one or two in there that was from 96. I don't really remember, but I know at least one of them was 95. And we thought we knew what we could do, what we were doing. We thought we could play instruments back then. We just sounded like a amateurish version of the Flaming Lips. The story behind what lyrics? Those songs didn't have any words. Recordings from the Tupperware are all instrumental. I didn't sing on any of them. Hey, let's see if we can get this guy on cam. Hang on. If he doesn't run away. Hey, my friend. Y'all see Sammy? Hey, Sammy. So, come here. The Sammy appearance. Flowers on the grave. I did that one, didn't I? I did flowers on the graves, didn't I? Didn't I do that video? About that was inspired by going to Elysium and being into goth girls. Um, Basically, I wanted to write a goth song because we were playing there all the time anyway, and I had band members, and you might have been one of them, Lance, that begged me to get a show at Elysium. I would have like Robert McDougall beg me. I think Luke Obermite would beg me. That was basically just because I was hanging out there, and I met some women there. Beck was the main one that I met. She was the one I fell in love with. Um, but I wrote that song after we had split up. What do you want? I let you outside. I gave you bacon. I pet you. What do you want? Come here. Do you want some loving? Crazy dog. The dog is like 14, 15 years old. Uh, so we were talking about flowers on the graves, and I was thinking, what could be darker than death? I had this idea for the song where I don't know when it came to me. I remember one night I was living in the projects on North Lamar, these really bad apartments, but just for like half a year I was there just for a temporary place to sleep. And I thought it was pretty late. I decided to go call it a night and go to sleep. And I already had this idea of flowers on the graves in my head. I wanted to write a song called that, Flowers on the Graves. And I had this drum beat, this tribal drum beat. I had never played drums like that before. That was also very. I had played a drum beat, and so I had the drum beat in my head, and I had the title, but didn't have anything else. So I decided to go to bed, and about maybe I don't know 3 4 minutes, like after I lied down, I started to get these words in my head. So I immediately got up, turned the light on, grabbed my spiral, wrote down the song "Flowers on the Graves" in about 5 minutes, and I was happy with them. Put the spiral down, turned the light off, went to bed, and that was it. And I made the song about a protagonist who was obsessed with death and the afterlife, and what happens when we die. Where do we go? Is there any afterlife? And he hangs out in graveyards and basically stares at all the flowers on the graves. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, it wasn't anything too complex, but it was just some idea I had, and I get inspired by the littlest things. So, and let's see, I don't. I guess China King is not here anymore. I don't even know who that was. I've seen that name before. I've seen China that is, but he's not. Cause I see one person in the room, and that's you, Lance. Um, but it says only one person's here. The freezing cold rain was just something I something that kind of came to me. I guess out of nowhere. I just thought, well, if you want to make it really gothic and dark, why make it a rainy, dark, gray, stormy day with freezing cold rain. It's definitely a song I'm very proud of. I got lucky with that one. It's not every day I could write a song in 5 minutes. That's an idea that I've had for weeks. Probably had that idea for the song "Flowers on the Graves" for probably a couple of months before I put any actual lyrics to it. All I had was a drum beat. Yeah, thank you. I'm sure it was a fun one for you to play too, because I think you really liked playing that one when we were doing what was that place, Pool Dog, and we did Elysium. We did Wake the Dead a couple times. Maybe we just did we do how many times did we play there more than one time? I can't remember. I know I played there at least 4 times or 5 times. I mean, I played with various people, but I remember Wake the Dead. That was your first show and Lightning's first show. Um, so and then we had the film Begotten playing in the background, and I thought it was going to freak people out, and they might get offended by it, but nobody said anything. That old movie from 90 or 91, which is all shot in black and white, grainy footage. I actually have a bootleg copy of that. It does. I never really thought about that, but like looking at the outside of the building in my head, it does look like a salon. It's fun playing there. I like playing there. Oh, Beauty Bar, yeah. Did we play Beauty Bar? I know I played Beauty Bar, but did you and I play that? Did we? I don't remember us playing Beauty Bar. I remember I played there. I played there with Robert as a bass player one time. I only remember playing there twice. I remember we played. I remember we played Plush. Um, Toast opened at Poodle Dog. As I remember Chris Toast opened at Poodle Dog. That was the one time I remember playing with Chris Toast with Crack in the Wall when we were both on the bill. Yeah, 'cause I do remember that. Beauty Bar doesn't exist anymore. It's something else now. But they had a horrible sound. I mean, it sounded like mud. It was the muddiest PA I'd ever heard. It just sounded, being on the drums and hearing it from where I was playing the drums. It's like that. And God knows what it sounded like to the audience because you don't hear, as you know, when you're on stage, you don't hear it a completely different way. When you're on stage, you don't hear what the audience hears. But it sounded like complete mud to me when I was on stage. You know what? I really wish I had a camera back in those days when we were playing 290 West. I wish I would have gotten some of those open mics on video. It was you on bass and me on drums, and I didn't have a camera back then, stupidly, and I should have gotten one. I think like Poodle Dog, we became like one of the we had kind of a residency there almost. Like we would play there like at it seemed like 4 times a month. And I my apartment complex, I lived with well, Denise, who was one of the bartenders there, had a place in that apartment complex. And I remember she knocked on my door one time and asked if we wanted to play. And and Lightning was already living with me. She said yes. Joe said yes. You said yes. So I called her and said, "Yeah, we'll do it." Only thing about Pool Dog is that you had to have your own PA. They didn't have a PA set up, and the owner didn't really know what it meant to be a musician. That musicians were very poor and they were very hungry. So he didn't provide a PA and he didn't pay you. All the money you would make would be off tips or if you sold some CDs. And I think the most we ever got in the tip jar was like $77, and that's when we had all that the sorority girls and they were dancing to James Frank. Uh, Size wise, it was perfect, and then you could play pool when you're done. I always sucked at pool, but I always loved playing it. The pool dog, that's something else now. Whenever we would play a show, it could be at like I don't know, Kick Butt Coffee or the parlor, and nobody showed up. That counted as a practice because nobody was there. That was a practice for this rehearsal. It was a practice. Yeah, back in 2010, a lot's changed since 2010. Kick Butt Coffee's still open, um, but Pool Dog isn't, and neither is the parlor. They still have the parlor on in the Hyde Park location, but it's very different. And they just recently started having shows there because the parlor in Hyde Park wouldn't have shows unless it was South by. It would only have shows during South by. It wasn't like the one in North Loop where they would have it every day just about. Um, that used to be my hangout because I lived close to. I used to go there and hang out, get a slice of pizza, drink beer, and see some punk rock or some band from Canada or whoever was coming there. Sometimes I had to leave because some of the artists that would go in there were so terrible. Oh God, that again. Yeah, I am a woman. I am woman. Hear me roar with numbers too big to ignore. Is that what you're talking about? Uh, so I guess I don't really have a whole lot planned. I just wanted to go live and see. Are you still at work right now, dude? Are you like watching me at work? Are you on the clock? Are you getting paid for this? Oh, you getting paid? Hell yeah. Oh, uh, you're gross. Oh, look, he exploded. He is all puffed up. Okay. Uh, you and your emojis. Yeah, I wanted to make another video on YouTube. I didn't know what to do. It's hard for me to make videos these days. I don't have the time. Like everybody's asleep in the house except me and Sammy, but it looks like Sammy wants to go to sleep. Um, so yeah, I was hoping some other people would join me. Wait a minute, I know who that China King guy was. I think that was Anthony because there's a place in College Station called China King that he likes. Chinese buffet. It's actually pretty good. We went there a couple times, once or twice, and I'm guessing that's who that was because he says he's just subscribed to my channel, but some subscribers leave their profiles private for some reason. He's one of them, so I can't see every subscriber that I have, but I'm up to 118 subscribers now. I get like at least one new subscriber a week. Um, so yeah, live and in your face. Uh, it is now 10:51 in the PM. I have one more check from Goodwill, and oh, I didn't tell you I've got a job interview tomorrow at the 99-cent store, which is just about maybe 5 buildings down from Goodwill. So the Goodwill people that I worked with are probably going to come in there to buy somewhat groceries and see me again. I do remember that. First time I went there, Jim Day took me there, and he was wearing a Genesis shirt, and I was envious of his shirt because it looked completely awesome. It had the artwork. It was like a collage of their album covers. That I can't remember the name of the place, but yeah, we went there quite a bit. Like you, me, and Joe, and Jim Day and me, and I think maybe Joe and I went. Maybe what was her name? Um, what was? Do you remember Joe's girlfriend? What her name was? I think the three of us went one time. Anyway, I would come back to Goodwill if I could work 2 jobs because I want to work 2 jobs at least temporarily. But I need to be here sometimes. But yeah, I know things are gonna work out. Things I'm gonna get some job, whether it's Goodwill or 99 cents or I've applied to about 80 jobs. Cool. Yeah, actually, I would go back. I would go back. It wasn't the worst job in the world. It's just that register really pissed me off. The people were great there. Um, I mean, I like the people. I didn't have a problem with anybody. Um, but everybody that works there is a little crazy because working at Goodwill will do that to you. Where the heck am I gonna? Nobody pays 20 an hour for what I can do. I'll tell you what, man. I'll work for you. I'll mow your lawn for 20 bucks, and then I'll shave your back for a nickel. So that's a pretty good deal, right? Like I'll mow your lawn for 20 bucks, shave your back for a nickel, and do a headstand for 5 bucks and a bag of donuts. You can't tell me that's a lousy deal. I was actually going to ask Jacqueline if she needed her lawn mowed just to see if if she would give me 20 bucks for that. How much per inch? Be like nails, like the length of 9-inch nails. Dog. Hey, doofus. Dog. Would you come back here, you dog? So this has gone on for like 25 minutes so far. Um, Man, on my end, this video is like really laggy. Yes, I. What do you want? I'm trying to please you here, and all you do is whine. That's gonna cost you if you want me to do that. If you can throw in like $50, I will take my shirt off. I know you don't have to go back outside. You just went. Hang on, let me see if I can get this dog. Oh, he wants something. I don't know what he wants. I guess he's bored. I think he's just bored. You're being a nuisance. All right. Let's all go tour the house. I don't know, man. I don't really feel like getting up. What? What do you? Do you want me to pet you? Do you? You've got food down. You've got water down. You went outside. What do you want? Oh, dog. I'm trying to make a video here. The painting. I'm not sure when that one was done. It was. Hang on. Okay, that was done when I was a teenager, probably in junior high. My mom did that. I don't really know any of the backstories behind any of these paintings. She just did. She was very prolific. She just did a lot of paintings. They were oil paintings. She's toward the end of her art hobby. She was doing acrylic for a little bit, but I don't know what if we even have those. 'Cause a lot of the paintings, she would give to people because they really liked them. So we don't have every single painting that she did. We have just a few of them. Explain the painting. So I've been in here for 28 minutes, and I've got one guy watching me. There's only one guy that watches everything I do on YouTube. Nobody else cares. Yet I have 118 subscribers, so I'm doing something right. It is kind of late to be going live, I guess. So if you can see it, it's the Last Splash album cover by the Breeders. I bought that on eBay. I think it's a good album. And let's see. Do you need to go outside? Let me stop this for just a bit. Actually, I have an idea. Pick this up. Oops. I don't know if you can see anything. All right, let's go. That's cool. I can watch myself walk in the room. A mirror. I feel like I'm looking into a mirror. All right. You're blowing yourself up. Oh, I got Jacqueline bought me smokes today. These are not the kind I wanted. They didn't have the kind I wanted, so this was the next best thing. I got nasty habits. Technically, I'm not supposed to smoke in the house, but on. I'm live. We go live. You ever see that Bill O'Reilly video when he was doing when he was still doing it? I'll do it live. Fuck it, the fucking thing sucks. You ever see that? To play us out, there are no words there. Yeah, there's a bad lag apparently. I mean, it's bad on my end. I don't know what other people can see when they're watching this. It might be my computer, or I don't know what's wrong with it. I've never done this before, so what's cool is I can watch this back. Dude, have you heard about that new Clint Eastwood movie, The Mule? I want to see that. It's not a western, but I don't anything that guy does. I have to see whether he acts in it or directs it. I have to see every single thing that. I definitely want to go see The Mule. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, you know, Clint Eastwood's my dad's age. He's 88 years old. Can you believe that? And he's still making films. I mean, the guy looks great for 88. I don't know what he did, but he looks amazing. Like I like all of his films. You know, especially the westerns are my favorite. You know, like Hang 'Em High. I like Hang 'Em High and the Man with No Name trilogy, and Josie Wells will probably always be my favorite. The Outlaw Josie Wells. Like I like Lee Van Cleef and Elias. What was his name? Elias Wallace or something? Wallace. Elias Wallace. He went to UT. Believe nobody was cooler than Clint Eastwood in spaghetti westerns, and you couldn't kill that guy either. He was like Matt Dillon. He got shot all the time, but he never died. Eli Wallach. Yeah, yeah, that dude was cool. He went to UT. He was a great actor. He cracked me up in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. It was so freaking ridiculous. Yeah. Oh man, I think my dog wants to come inside, but I'll let him come in. Tuco, that's right. I used to have the box set on VHS of the Man with No Name trilogy. Fistful of dollars for a few dollars more. The good, the bad, the ugly. Each film was great, but they got better. Um, good, the bad, the ugly is my favorite, but that's because both Lee Van Cleef and Eli are in it. Well, and for a few dollars more, Lee Van Cleef shot Clint Eastwood in the chin. Remember that? I'm gonna let my dog in real quick. He's gonna appreciate that. All right. All right. I hope he leaves me alone for the rest of the night. I see what you did there. Okay. I wonder what would happen if I. Does this do anything? Oh, it doesn't let me click on it. Okay, fine. I think we have an animal under the house because there's like this, whatever you call it, this vent or hole, like in the bottom of the house, and both Sammy and Kathy's dog Dash saw something and barked in the hole. So we had maybe a snake or a fox under there. I don't know. Raccoon. Raccoons are cute, but they're very fierce. They're scary creatures. So I'm starting a new comedy group. I'm starting a comedy group. We're going to be called Neglected Mayonnaise. It's going to be like it's going to be a Brian Texas version of Monty Python. I was speaking with a couple of friends of mine. I was speaking with Sean, my friend Sean, and Jacqueline today. And Jacqueline's like, "Oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to be a part of the comedy because Jacqueline's actually funny. She does stand up. I can't do stand up to save the life of me, but she does stand up at Revolution sometimes. She talks about her. She talks about her life. She talks about her daughter. She talks about her past life. Um, her. I want to be respectful, so I don't want to say, what it was. I mean, she'll tell you, but I mean, I don't want to, say the wrong thing, and she might see this or whatever. So, I, I'm hoping Jacqueline and me, Sean, and I want to get my friend John to do it, but John's like impossible to get a hold of. So he might fourth wheel, but it would be like a bunch of skits that wouldn't make any sense, like what Monty Python was. I was watching some Monty Python skits on YouTube last night. I was watching the Spanish Inquisition and the Argument Clinic. I came here for an argument. No, you didn't. You came here for an argument. Well, an argument isn't the same thing as contradiction. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. You just contradicted me. No, nonsense. This whole thing is all choppy. Everybody left, so I'm gonna leave too. But it was doing this, but I'm gonna leave because my friend basically talking to an audience of nobody. So good night, everyone. For now, at least for the time being. Good night.